welcome back everyone, welcome back to the second half of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with the first half with the first two best of threes, and now we are here with the lower quarterfinals matches. We do have two best of threes remaining here. We have a TvP between ByuN and Zoun, and we also have a TvP between ByuN and Lemon. Here we go. We have our first game, we have our first setup here. Game one is going to be on Ultra Love. Let's go. As readers are set, and we are jumping into that first game. Again, we'll see who can join Dark and Gumiho in the semifinals. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss. It is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. We go. And if you're in the chats, predictions may be open soon. Hold on. There we go. Predictions, they are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we jump into our best of three TvP. Here we go. Coming into this, I think it's going to be a hard one to call. ByuN has been looking very impressive as of late. That is true. ByuN, of course, this week he did recently defeat MaxPax, took down MaxPax in the Wardy TV Monday, if I recall correctly. So he has had some good results, has had some good showings. That is true. But Zoun likewise has also been looking very impressive as well. For those that do not remember, Zoun, he did recently, or relatively recently, finish his military service. Zoun, he came back to us back last year. I want to say around October, like around October of last year. He did return, and very quickly he shot up in skill. I was very impressed seeing Zoun during the Elite League tournaments in December. It was impressive to see his return, and if you remember, he even beat Clem. He beat Clem in his return back in December, coming into January. Zoun looking like a beast, especially in the mid to late game, and we'll see if he can get there against ByuN. ByuN, of course, is hyper-aggressive. ByuN is hyper-aggressive. The mid-game is where he thrives, going for drop play, going for multi-point aggression. ByuN can be a very difficult player to keep up with. Here we go. And that's where MaxPax's struggle. We'll see if Zoun can survive the aggression of ByuN. But now, economic opener. Economic opener out of ByuN. ByuN going for a Rax expand. Single gas opener. Likewise, Zoun across the map going for his own standard opener gate and Cybercore into Nexus. So far, nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. I just saw in the chat. Oh no. Did I interrupt the song? Smurge. Yo, there's some bangers in the Brutal OST. 100%. to apologize. Yeah, the drop was the game. The drop was the TvP, Pappy. What do you mean? What do you mean? Perfect time to come in. Kappa. But here we go. Oracle moves out. So it is going to be the Sentry Hallucination Scout out of Zoun, going for a Twilight Counts opener. So standard setup here into Blink, most likely into 2 or 3 Gate Blink Stalkers. We'll keep an eye on the gateway count here of Zoun to see how economical, to see how safe he wants to be. Likewise, ByuN back at home going for a 1-1-1. BC flies away. No. Not like this. Is that telling? Is that telling of what the series will entail? Maybe. So we do open up with our initial drop play. So this is going to be an opener that Maru and ByuN did popularize last year. This is going to be not a Widowmine drop. It's going to be a Widowmine Marine drop, assuming that we move out with everything. The Hallucination does spot this. Very nice scouts. A Hallucination will confirm. Zouni will spot this ahead of time. Now getting in position, now getting prepared. Now, the goal of this drop here is for economic damage. Usually, mine drops are just designed to scout, but Mine Marine is designed for probe kills. Designed for probe kills. Hellion does head into the main. Drop towards the main base as well. Zoun coming in with intercept. Oh, does boost away. Does boost past. Yeah, Zoun, he barely doesn't quite catch this. The last 2 soldiers in the main base, they're going to be zoned away by said Widowmine. Boys are being pulled. Wouldn't mind barely goes down. Whew. Very clutch defense there from Zoun. And ByuN is deflected. ByuN is deflected, does pull out. And Zoun holds. Zoun holds, Zoun defends. Behind this 3-gate blink into a third Nexus. Very safe opener here out of Zoun. Just making sure he has enough Stalkers. And of course takes his third as we build up towards that mid-game. Meanwhile, across the map, ByuN himself going for his own 3-1-1 setup, setting up his early tanks and getting ready here for the Stalker aggression of Zoun. So after the initial aggressive start, ByuN is going to be the defender. He's going to take up a more defensive stance here back at home, building up his tanks, sieging up, and getting ready for any kind of Blink Stalker aggression. Meanwhile, Zoun is teching. Zoun, he doesn't really warp in. I should say Zoun, he skips warp-ins. He skips warp-ins in favor of tech, Robo, Forge, Charge on the way, Shield Batteries, Saturation at the expansion. So very light aggression here from Zoun. Really non-existent. He's only here to scout. Just here to scout, just here to spot any kind of move out. Containing with 2 Stalkers. Well, meanwhile, Zoun is being greedy. Now, it does mean if suddenly ByuN pushes, speaking of, it means that suddenly ByuN pushes out, Zoun, he can't really slow this down too well. We'll try to, though. He's got his 4 Stalkers. ByuN does break out. And again, Zoun, he has been skipping warp-ins. He has to focus on his army production. Immortals on the way. And ByuN, I mean, this is a very ByuN thing to do. Most Terran players will wait for Stim. Most Terrans will wait for Stim. Meanwhile, ByuN, he's waiting for Stim in a sense, as he expects Stim to be done by the time he gets across the map. So he does move out pre-Stim. It is risky, but I mean, ByuN, he gets across the map, and the tanks do siege. Tanks, they siege up. Stim is done in 10 seconds. Shield battery does fall. Pylon's under fire. And the pylon is barely going to go down as well. Big commitment there from ByuN. Bled out a lot of Marines. Water tower from behind. A Nexus under fire. But ByuN, he ran out of Marines here. I don't think he has enough. It's going to be close. It's going to be close here. Stalkers, they commit. He dives on top of the tanks. Tanks will go down. And Zoun will defend. Oh, takes down the full medevac. And ByuN, he committed so hard to this. He failed to get the expansion. He will lose everything. And looking at the trades, that was what? That was 13 Marines, 2 tanks, the Raven, the medevac for what? For 5 Stalkers. That was not worth it. Zoun does defend. I mean, the base did get low, but survived. Expansion did survive. It was a risky move out there from ByuN. Not quite worth it in the end. And Zoun, he has now gained map control. Control the map. ByuN trying to catch out those Stalkers. Gets 1, gets 2. Does catch 2 Stalkers. Likewise, behind this, getting his 3rd TC. Getting his 3rd command center. Bays on the way here for Zoun. Working towards Colossus. 4th expansion. I mean, Zoun, again, he's free to do whatever he wants. He has map control, takes a 4th base, takes up into Colossus, +2 is on the way. Zoun's looking very comfortable here. ByuN does sneak out. But there is the Observer. The Observer does spot the drop. Zoun, he recalls. Recalls back home. Observer spots the other move out. Zoun, he's aware of both drops. You see Zoun is ready here in the main. Likewise, he does find the army. Forcing it back. ByuN, he will reinforce though, coming in for a flank. And Zoun, remember, he's in the main base. Yeah, Stalker's out of position. Mine shots popping off on the Zealots. ByuN catching Zoun out of position. Going for the expansion. Nice moves. But the Colossus has arrived. And ByuN, does he have enough? Takes out the Immortal. Yeah, but can't get on top of the Colossi. And shots, nice connections. Yeah, it does connect well. Marauders are trying to move their way in. But ByuN, he's running out of army. He's running out of units. Yeah, down to 5 Marauders. And it's not enough. Oof. Yeah, barely not. Zoun holds, Zoun defends. Again, it was a nice move here by ByuN to try to bypass the army and try to force or try to juke his opponent. It was successful, but barely didn't break the expansion. Zoun is holding. Gets a 2nd Colossus. ByuN reinforcing. Getting his 3rd TC. Getting fully saturated. ByuN, he doesn't want to back off. Looking for another way in. He rotates over. The Nexus is still very low from earlier. And ByuN, can he snipe the base? Gets a cannon. Takes down the cannon, takes down the pylon. Decent mine connections, but the army does rotate. Celts are going down. There's not that much support. ByuN backs off, he respects it. Respects the Colossus, pulls away, he preserves the Marauders, more importantly. Ghost production has begun, Vikings as well. ByuN is still being aggressive, still being active. Zoun, he has saved his bases, but he has been bleeding out a lot of gateway units. Stalkers, Zealots, has been losing a lot. Has preserved the Colossus at least. Oh, speaking of. Does take a shot to the face. Catching out the army. Takes it forward, takes out both Medivacs. Nice catch here by Zoun. Oof, yeah, it's going to be a rough loss for ByuN. Bleeding out the Marines, bleeding out the Marauders. ByuN, meanwhile, getting to 2-2, just fortifying himself. His SCV count is solid here, but ByuN is heavily oversaturated. He needs another CC. And Command Center just now starting. It's a late 4th. There's a late expansion. Zoun securing himself, working towards disruptors. So in the chat. As a punishment for interrupting it, Light should sing the aria himself. Ah, no. Ah, no. Not like this. You're all animals. You're all animals. As there's that second rover, again into double disruptors. +3s on the way. Zoun getting a 5th expansion. Now Zoun has gained map control. Armies are still quite comparable, but ByuN does need that 4th. And a lot of this will come down to the engagements. ByuN has a solid Viking count, getting up to 8. It's going to be 9 Vikings, a second starport. So with the second starport should be the arrival of Liberators. Of Liberation of Freedom. Once Liberators start building up, that does change the dynamic here. Does mean that Zoun will have to make a choice. Does he want to switch into Skytoss? Does he want to commit with a more Stalker-heavy composition? As ByuN is attempting to expand, getting caught out. ByuN has engaged, takes out one disruptor, Novas go up! Up! Ooh, massive connection! Yeah, Ghosts are going down. ByuN has to kite back, the Colossus are going to be falling, but what about the ByuN army? The Zealots stay overwhelmed. Again, the mine shots were insane. Disruptor shots, I mean. Novas to connect, Vikings have to land. But Zoun, he has too much, he overwhelms. Gets into the mineral line, takes down the SCVs, that's going to be 13 workers falling. Another Nova. Oof. Did I say 13? 21! 21 SCV kills, ay ay ay. Again, ByuN, he barely holds, but he at what cost? We'll lose 21 SCVs. Again, the Novas were brutal. Zoun pushing into a minefield. Not gonna be easy. But we get more Stalkers. Zealots to the charge, he takes a massive mine shots to the face. Ooh, brutal connections. But Zoun, he still has too much. And he will break through, takes down all the Vikings. ByuN trying to keep up. But at this point, again, Zoun has got 81 workers. He's on 5 bases now, getting a 6th expansion. And you can see from here, we can just push into the natural. Once again, the voids are being pulled. ByuN getting desperate. But for the most part, he has been broken. As Zoun, he blinks into the natural. Novas, they serve the army wave. Another massive connection. Disruptors, they pop off. They also get popped as they do go down. But with the reinforcements, we get a full surround and everything gets surrounded. GG gets called. Zoun will take game number 1. GG. Zoun does take the game. Zoun does take a lead. Again, a very intense back and forth. We had a lot of ByuN moments here when it came to his early pushes, but he was so committed and barely wasn't getting enough. If you recall, I'm referring to his first push towards the third expansion. He barely didn't get the Nexus. Likewise, the second push towards the fourth base also didn't get the Nexus either. Each time he was committed, each time he was barely not breaking the bases. He was bleeding out a lot of units, and with that, Zoun gained map control. He ensured that ByuN was contained. ByuN, as he tried to take his fourth base, he was punished for it. He was punished quite hard, and with that, Zoun did snowball out of control. GG. GG, well played. With that, Zoun takes a lead, and now we're jumping into game 2. We'll see if ByuN can bounce back, recover, and force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into our next game. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Leylines, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, leading the series 1-0. It is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And again, I'm very impressed here by Zoun's vision, more importantly, in the last game. I spoke about how ByuN, he had a really hard time being active and being aggressive with his army and achieving much damage. A big part of that was the fact that Zoun saw everything as it moved out. He had plenty of observers on the map, did confirm the drop play, the initial, even the first drop across the map, and of course the follow-up double drops on the right, on the left-hand side. Time and time again, Zoun, he did spot them and was able to get in position to shut them down. So solid map awareness and map control out of Zoun. And I feel like that's really what you want against ByuN. We spoke earlier that ByuN is just a very aggressive player. Again, there's the reason why even MaxPack struggled to deal with ByuN this week, because of his aggressive nature. So vision, scouting, map awareness, map control, all just paramount here against ByuN as a player. So far, Zoun has been keeping up. Has been keeping up. Behind this, of course, going for a gateway into Cybercore. Standard opener into his natural. Meanwhile, ByuN going for an economic opener as well. Single gas into CC on the low ground. Here we go. So once again, Zoun is scouting, checking for proxies. He does check the southern location. Now checks up north as well. Zoun a little bit paranoid, and I don't blame him. ByuN, he's not afraid to proxy. Not at all. But again, behind this, economic opener into his factory follow-up. Probe does confirm the CC, so Zoun, he is aware of the faster command center. Knows he's safe. Once again, the sentry openers are very trendy here in the current meta of StarCraft 2. The reasoning for this is the hallucination scouts, which, if you recall, last game, Zoun did spot the early drop with that hallucination. So very popular, very meta. A big part of it, of course, is because of the change to the energy overcharge. Speaking of, we should be seeing it here. As the Stalker moves out, pokes in. Yep, there's the energy overcharge into hallucination. So this is one of the changes to the most recent patch. As we got rid of the shield battery overcharge, now we have the energy overcharge instead. And openers with sentries are that much more powerful here, or I should say they're that much safer, as you're able to scout very early on. You're able to scout. This is applicable to, really all matchups. So it's mainly applicable to PvT and PvP, less so against Zerg. As you don't need a fake Oracle, you have a real one to work with instead. So the Oracle moves out, it does get eyes on the 1-1-1. As ByuN is going for the same opener. Do you see what I see? I see a Medevac, I see one Widowmine, and I see massive amount of Marines. This is the same opener we saw in the last game. Oh, except this time ByuN, he doesn't wait for the Widowmine. The Widowmine is left behind, and it's only pure Marines in the Medevac. Okay. So a slight variation here out of ByuN. Widowmine is still moving out. It's scuttling across the map. A little bit of a cheeky maneuver here. So basically, this initial drop is a distraction. Ideally, ByuN, he wants to distract the main army with his drop, and he wants to scuttle into the mineral line with this Widowmine. Oh, it gets spotted though. It gets spotted by hallucination. Drop into the main. Widowmine is getting ready. Let's go. He's waddling in. Here comes the distraction. ByuN picking into the main. Widowmine does borrow. Doesn't quite commit. He's getting close. He's getting close. Likewise, it was of course a Twilight Council opener into Blink out of Zoun. Standard setup. ByuN pulls away. You can see Zoun trying to hunt down that medevac. He's aware. He's searching. He doesn't find it, just barely. ByuN gets out of there. Does pull away. Mind Shot goes off on the hallucination. And ByuN backs off. ByuN is deflected. Zoun back at home. It was a 3-gate opener, 3-gate blink into a third base. Very safe place once again. Oh, sorry, very safe play once again here from Zoun. As ByuN, he goes for a much earlier move out. Tank gets caught. One more volley. Tank goes down. Massive pickoff. Ay. Takes down the first tank. Now, if you remember, last time when ByuN went for this push, he went when Stim was halfway done. Here, Stim just started. So a much earlier push here by ByuN. But he gets punished. First tank falls. Zoun buying time. Warping in back at home. Deflects the Liberator. ByuN still trying to be active. Still trying to push. He's trying. And Zoun, he's there at every turn. He's there to deflect. He delays the move out. And Zoun keeping up with the army. Once again, can he get a tank? Oh! It's a couple of volleys. One more volley. And the tank will fall. And he does confirm that observer. He's like, how do you know where I am? Does pick it up. But for the most part, this push has failed. Oh, nice tank shot. ByuN trying to bait the army in. And he pulls away. He pulls away. Third CC on location. Zoun, he confirms with the hallucination. He does see the army pull back. And behind this, Zoun just embracing more charge. Charge on the way. +1. Gateway explosion. Zoun, he does delay his gases. He does delay his Colossus production for the time being. There we go. There's the Bay. So later Bay, later Colossus. Zoun moves out. Again, Zoun, he does spot the army. He's aware. And Zoun is happy to contain. Happy to just contain his opponents, getting a 4th expansion. Again, he's still taking up into Colossus. Zealot run by setting up. ByuN still wants to move out, and every time Zoun sees him, oh my god, he just spots him. Zoun, he knows, Pappy, he knows. Zoun is getting in position. Warping in more Zealots, Immortals as well. ByuN was spotted. And, oh, almost gets him Marauder. Almost. ByuN does get in position, does deny the expansion. Nice pickoff. Takes down the base. At the same time, Zealots, they do go for the run by. At the same time, Liberator getting 4 probe kills in the main. 4 workers go down. ByuN, he's still pushing. Still moving in. Oh! Does bad at the Widowmines. Tanks are on siege. First tank goes down. Massive pickoff. And so does the second. Yeah, both tanks do fall. ByuN, he stims on forward. Does shut down some of the Stalkers. At the same time, no mining here at the third whatsoever. Forces a lift. ByuN stepping in, the Colossus has arrived. And Zoun bought enough time. Shuts down the Bio. Catches the Marauder. Okay, ByuN, he was just stuck on a 2-base economy. Still has a massive army, don't get me wrong. Has a lot of Bio, but now with the Colossus, he cannot move in. He cannot break the third. And ByuN retreats. Whew, okay. ByuN pulls away. We have 3 base versus 3 base. And now what's important here is that ByuN, he got what he wanted. I mean, he lost his tanks, true, but he did deny the 4th. So Zoun, his economy is still not where he really wants to be. Zoun, he's oversaturated. He needs that 4th expansion. The wing condition for ByuN should be to rotate and deny the 4th base. Deny the 4th over and over and over again. Does engage though. He gets caught out. Colossus, they just mow through the bio. They mow through the Marines. Yeah, Widowman's going to be going down as well. And ByuN, he can't fight this head on. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, Medevac's being targeted. Colossus, they just rain down on the army. And ByuN, he will lose everything here. He has to retreat. He has to back off. This is not the fight he was looking for. Down to a handful of Marauders. Reinforcements are on the way. Oh. Zoun, he doesn't have the Prism. Still on the way. Zoun unable to reinforce, but now he can. The Prism has arrived. And Zoun, he's not stopping. Now it's the Protoss' turn to be aggressive. It's my turn now. Let's go. And ByuN, he bled out so much in the process already. Widowmine's falling. Colossus pushing in. Oh my god, getting another Widowmine. The Warpins, they don't stop. I mean, there are a couple of Vikings, but so far the Swords don't engage over just zoning. Oh. Sending the army back. Pushing into the mineral line. Denying the CC. The CC getting very low, actually. And he commits. He pulls the boys. ByuN, one final push, trying to break the Colossus. The juggling, though, saves the Colossi. Yeah, the swipes are brutal here. The army's overstimmed. The 3rd Colossus has arrived. The Viking count just not high enough. GG gets called. ByuN is broken. And Zoun, he will overwhelm, taking the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Does take the series, does take the 2-0. Very impressive, very well done. Again, ByuN, he was so aggressive and so assertive both in game 1 and in game 2. And in both games, Zoun did an amazing job at just keeping up with the drops, at scouting the move outs time and time again. He was always there to punish, to pick away at the tanks, pick away at the army, to slow the move out, and to delay the push of ByuN. ByuN, with his eventual move out, did eventually break the 4th base and force a cancel, that is true, but alas, he at the same time, if you recall, he was denied mining at the 3rd base. He also didn't have the best economy either, and Zoun was able to just rip control away from ByuN with his Colossus and overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. Again, a lot of the strengths of ByuN are these early game move outs, these early tank pushes, and these early drops. That's where ByuN can really excel, where he can really overwhelm. But alas, Zoun was all over that. He was all over that from ByuN. Very impressive play there. GG. GG, well played. Zoun, he will take the 2-0. And now we are getting ready for the final series of the broadcast. Our final best of 3. Up next is going to be a best of 3, another TvP between the Tuna and the Lemon. Ah, let's go. Let us go. We're getting ready for Ryung versus Lemon in that final matchup of the night. Let's go. Here we go. Software production is Terran's weakness in TvP. I mean, again, just to re-emphasize, ByuN was very assertive and very aggressive this game, going for these early move-outs. That's kind of, because they weren't getting the damage that ByuN was hoping for, that's where he was, in a way, kind of falling behind. It's when you're a little bit more committed early on, and when that commitment doesn't lead to much, that's where things can go awry real fast and real quick, especially at this level of play. But for now, we're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be setting up here for that final best of 3. We'll see you soon after the short break. You can enjoy the brutal OST. I'll make sure to cut back just in time before the bass drops. Oh god. Let's go.